Hi, I'm Shauna Lee with Infinity Readings. I want to thank everybody who's joined, liked, or subscribed to my page, or my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page called Infinity Readings and Reviews if you want kind of more of a personal insight into where my mind is going, and also access to free monthly readings. And I will be giving away like micro readings. I'll be on for an hour and just accept questions as they come. First come, first serve type thing, and then we'll go from there and see what kind of demand that brings. But that's where you'll get access to that, and that's also where you'll get access if I decide to go outward with my readings. That's Infinity Readings and Reviews on Facebook. Click join, I'll add you in there, and then just wait around and see what happens. A lot of times it's just a more personal view of what I get instinctively throughout the months that I'm not sending the videos out. Sometimes I get intuitive downloads and I spit it out through the page, or I just feel inspired to put, a lot of positive information in that way, and that's where all the kind of the news that I get intuitively is just spewed out there. So I want to thank anybody who's already in there and who is following me, and I want to thank them for their likes, subscribes, for the comments. I appreciate it. As long as it's productive in some way, I absolutely absorb that shit. I get in there, and it actually makes a difference in how I proceed forward. I do have fluxes here and there where family and life gets in the way, and usually everybody's been very accepting and graceful of that time. So I appreciate that for all the people that are on there. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit about the decks that I'm using. I have I'm doing a 2 pyramid, male-female split for my readings. I just, came up with that on the fly. I'm using, I found masculine and feminine set, which I'm very stoked about. The Gods and Titans deck from Stacey DeMarco, and the Goddesses and Sirens deck also from Stacey DeMarco. Those are the two, the male and the female, that I use. I clarify the female deck with the Whispers of Love. And I'm turning more into the love side of things. I was clarifying with some grounded energy, but my decks kind of somehow disappeared, so I had to change it up. So the Whispers of Love is really giving the insight to the female side, and then I'm using the Love and Sex Tarot deck to give little harder edge to the God and Titans, the male side, kind of looking into their sexual. I don't know that they would pick up on the softer side of it anyway. I think it would be a little too fluffy. So I think the sexual edge that this tarot deck gives is working very well. I think the energies are working very well. So that is the decks that I'm using at this point. Whatever you're dealing with from June 20th to September 22nd, that is the run time here that I'm forecasting for. There's a few themes that are running through. One of them is a sense of play. Keep that for the summer. Don't get too serious. But those that are driven to need to, I guess. We need to keep love and compassion alive, and not only that, go outward with it. So happy summer to everyone, and on with the readings. This is the summer reading for Sagittarius for 2017. The feminine Sagittarians, they're going through self-esteem issues. Where are they sitting? I feel like they're kind of on a good balance. They're kind of they realize they can be humble. They're not totally in their ego, but they also know that they have enough to make things happen. So they're really in a good balanced state, I'm feeling, for the self-esteem here. The next card they get is play. They're going to utilize this summer to do so. They're very adventurous, the feminine sides, they're just wanting to get their hiking boots on and their bathing suits out, and they want to go everywhere, see everything, and do everything. So they're really engaging in that energy. It's a very good, fun, light energy. They're taking it very seriously, their play. Just kind of a contradiction. But they are dedicating to play. So I don't know, maybe they've had a good, heavy, strong year of not so much play, too much work, too overrun. So they are just busting out, but they're they're doing it in an organized way where they're going to make sure that they get fresh air over the summer. So that's really what it is. They're taking their place seriously. They're going to go and do it. They're making a dedication to get out there and take the time. So it may be not enough vacation time, and now they're going, yeah, damn it, it's summer, I'm taking my time. So, and that's what they're going to do, is play. So the next card they have is Magic, and that's a good card. It's off the center here, but it's still in the mix. So I'm feeling that they have a better part of them that is in the realization that they have power, and they're utilizing it, and they're going forward with it. So that's good. The next card we have is Purpose. I feel like they're chewing on their purpose. I feel like they're getting the flavor. They're going, is this what I really want? Is this what I'm tasting it? I don't know if I like it or not, So they may have some things around self-esteem issues, leading them to their purpose. But nonetheless, they're getting a taste of it. They're diving into it, and they're going to figure it out. The next card, Illumination. So, right on the throes of Magic, that's really a higher advanced feeling than I get on this side. The self-esteem is good. The play is good. But the Magic and Illumination is really high on the list. So they must have been doing work earlier on in that way of spirituality, learning lessons, trying to get things moving, working on themselves. So I feel like there's a lot of that is on reserve. They've finished it. They've completed the course, passed the test. Now they're ready for the next phase. So this is kind of sitting on reserve. Their Illumination, they're going to take a pause because they're playing. Their summer, they're taking it off. They're not dedicating that time to spirituality. They're dedicating it to play. Thank you very much. But when they need to, they're just going to dip right back into where they were at the beginning of the season. The beginning of summer, it's kind of like, okay, light switch goes off. I'm off business. I'm all fun. And then when time comes back in the fall, go back to work, whatever it is, boom, then I'm on. I'm back on, and they don't skip a beat in between. Now, where they end up is individuation. This is really coming to terms, and it's really connected to the purpose. We've both got the same background colors. Their individualism within themselves is really connected to their purpose of the more that they realize who they are, the easier it will be for them to find their purpose. So they're going there. And that seems to be kind of the last frontier, because we have the Illumination here and the Magic just waiting to unfold. We just got to know what direction we need to go. And I think they're knowing the direction. They have to narrow it down and go, for life? Is this for life? Is this what I want? Forever and ever, amen. So that's really what it is I can handle this, but how long am I going to want it for? Is it what I'm built for? Is this why I'm here? That kind of thing. Diving deeper into that. So very seriously involved in the spiritual path here, whether they're very attuned, they're very evolved, trying to take a break over the summer. They're going to do so, and then they're just going to, like I say, not miss a beat and get right back on track. And when the fall comes around, they'll be ready to jump back in where they took off from. So I'm just going to jump into the love sector here because it's really good. They're dedicating their summer to backing off of the serious stuff, infusing the light stuff, and going from there. Now, the first card I get on the love and romance sector here, consider your foundation. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love. So there may be a situation where you have a romance here that you're not really fully invested in. And if you're not, maybe check out. Or decide if you want to check out. And if you don't, then check back in. Because you're kind of wavering in between land there. So be careful of the play that you're not playing away from your partner too far. So consider your foundation. What is it you got here, and what do you want from it? Do you want more or less of what you're getting? The next card, love makes a difference. Love can help heal past hurts and provide a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. So this may be the missing link that you may feel a little off kinker with. You may have a deficit coming here where you don't feel like everything's all in. So just kick in with your love and compassion and see what happens from there. The next card I get is listen with your heart. You're listening to what is being said to you, but you need to listen with a loving heart. So you're listening on a intellectual level, you have to listen on an emotional level, and then once you do so, you will see changes. Seems like you just kind of have to kick in. These women, these feminine Sagittarians have to kick in. It seems to be kind of a theme, actually. Kick in to the love sector, you know, and when summer comes, use that as an opportunity to gain time for compassion and love and expressing it outward. There we go. Now, for the male side, the Sagittarian males, we're coming up here. The flow is sitting here, able to catch the current. We'll see what happens. The next card we get is travel. So, these Sagittarians may be in a place where they're making a lot of travel plans. I'm going here that date, there that date, you know, and I'm meeting with them and they're coming, okay. So I feel on both ends, them going to travel out and people are going to travel to see them. A lot of action, but you won't have to put out a lot of effort because there might be a lot of people coming to you. So it will be good, good energy coming at you. But nonetheless, you making plans to go outward and a lot of people making plans for to inroad to you for the summer. Very active in that way of accepting and also going outward in movement, you know. And it could be a few, like literally a few overseas over the summer, going overseas here and going overseas there, and that's it. But longer trips. And then the ones that come to see you are going to be shorter trips. They're going to be, 2 to 5 hours away. They're going to come and visit and stay the weekend or stay the night and then have to go off. Or, a lot of people kind of jet setting in and maybe not a lot of time to visit, but you're like, that's okay. I got to see them, da-da-da. And, or they stop in a hotel and then ask you to meet them at the cafe just for a quick coffee before they rush out. That kind of thing. Business trips. That kind of thing I'm seeing. So a lot of connections being made over the summer. The next card I have for the Sagittarian males is dedication. So I feel like if I'm going to go off the feminine energy, they may have a dedication to play, but I'm seeing travel right next to it. So I feel like they're dedicated to almost, it's like an agenda. I got a bucket list. I need to check these two off. It's like either we need to go here and visit these people at this time. So it seems like a rush. It's not something you would normally do over a season of 2 to 3 months. But it's almost like, I'm going to dedicate myself to doing that because I got the time and I'm going to make the time. I got the possible time here and I'm going to make that time. And so that's what it is. It's kind of like, I'm gonna dedicate myself to some trips here over the summer more than I have in the past. And that's really, I feel that's a good light and airy thing. They're like, I'm gonna make a few trips, and this is gonna happen. And even though maybe in the past you guys had your vacation, but you kind of stayed home, you didn't do too much with it. You kind of got work done at home, or maybe you didn't. You just lazed around, whatever it was. Well, now you're gonna go outward. You're gonna go travel. You're gonna go do or see or be with the people that you want to be, and you're gonna dedicate the summer to doing that, to making more connections in that way, which is a good time to do it. Everything's light and airy. So the next card we get is chaos. And it seems like these Sagittarians can't get too far from that. That fiery energy just always seems to come back in chaos. Now the flow is sitting here, can totally offset this chaos. But it seems like there's, I don't know what's stopping. We'll go on. But there's chaos sitting here nonetheless. Could be just the mental mindset in the negative. That could absolutely be what's bringing them back. Or it just could be that there's so much chaos around them that they end up getting involved in, and it ends up erupting in their own lives to a higher degree. Now the next card we get is organization, which is interesting because it's right across from dedication. Travel. So there's going to be a lot of planning for these travel trips, and I feel it's going to be of the utmost importance, and also to a degree where there's a little bit of scuttlebutting, there's a little bit of stuff that has to be done before these trips can go through. whether it's topping up on your passport or making sure that everything's in order that way, or things at home have to be ordered before you go. There's a little bit of organization there wrapped around this commitment to travel. So I feel like the better part of the beginning to the end of June here into July, then you're going to be organizing for that, to prepare for that, to go outward. And then after that, just a breeze, you just pack the suitcase and go. Now where you end up at is focus. And it's interesting because the focus is coming down to the organization. And it's almost like there's focus, but you're veering away. Chaos and flow. It's almost like there's a refusal to get into the flow, which is creating chaos, and your focus is in the wrong direction. That's really what's going on. And that would make sense to me to think in a logical manner. Like, what is getting these Sagittarians? The last 3 readings, they were just in a jumble. They were pissed off at the world, pissed off at you, at me, and everybody, and shouting it outward, and staying in that pissed off mood, and being in the, like it just was negative. So it seems like the flow is here for you. The chaos is here for you. You're choosing the chaos. So you are realizing that it's not helping you, but you're not having the ability to see what you need to do to get out of it. You don't know what it is. Just change your thought process. Just think about the good things. Don't dwell on the negative, and that's basically it. And then you go from there. You start organizing your thoughts and make a dedication to being more positive. And this will be gone. This will come here, and then we'll have another new energy coming up. That's really what we want to do, is get rid of that chaos. But it seems to linger for these Sagittarians, and the fiery energy, brings it in twice as quick. So the ability to see what's causing that, not there. It's a negative attitude. That's all it is. So you just got to stay positive, happy-go-lucky. This is where you got to sit. And part of that is doing those things that you're going to dedicate yourself to doing. It's like part of your inner soul is going, that's enough. I need a break. So you're going to take it, and you're going to dedicate to doing it. And the thing is, you should have done that a long time ago. Really would have freed up your mind of the energy that's sitting and lingering in it. You just need to take that time to have the vacation. Enjoy it. Be in those moments, and don't dwell on the negative. And watch who you're sitting with. Are those a bunch of negative Nancy's? Get rid of the Nancy's. Bring in the positive Pete's. Like, go with that. Get rid of negative Nancy. Bring in positive Pete's, and then let's deal. And see how your life shifts. It's really that chaos we're trying to get rid of. I'm telling you, it's going by Christmas if I have to push it out myself. But the skill. There's a skill there, and you're looking in the right direction towards organizing and planning for your trips. So this is really going to help you get back on that footing of positive thinking. So just dwell on the trips, dwell on the vacation time, dwell on getting away from the negativity and the chaos. You are doing what you need to do that, which is to take time off of it. Take time away from it. And when you get away from it, you really see where it is. You go, boy, this is better than that. So then when you come back, you'll have some fresh ideas how to deal with that, how to deal with your negative attitude, negative mindset, negative workforce, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then you will have, some fiery little stones that you can throw to combat that. And hopefully it will be in a positive place. So that is the Sagittarian reading. Now, for their love and sex side of things for the Sagittarians, the first card I come across is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, if you look at it, it's just very much indulging and being very free and easy with love and sex and intimacy. So, yet the man is not really touching her yet. So it's almost like there's an admiration of wanting and needing, but not quite indulging. So it's really just, this is what I want, and this is, can we start yet? And it's almost like if we have some singles maybe kind of in that phase where they can't quite indulge yet. So, and then for the ones in a coupled relationship, it may be that, they have someone there, an object, but they're not indulging in the physical side of things. The next card that I get is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, she's got the Book of Knowledge on her lap there, so she's very smart, very wise, very wisdom oriented, but she's also got that sensual, seductive side to her. So that it can be a symbol to these males of having an increased knowledge of sex in that way, enough to allure a partner. So if you're in a relationship, it's showing that you have the knowledge it takes to engage in the physical side of things. You just may not be utilizing it. And if you're single, it shows that you have the knowledge to gain a partner, and not only, you know, just to look at them and say, I want that, but to bring them in and lure. I'm saying lure is a bad thing, but to lure them in and go, yeah, like, let's start this. Like, let's get on that level. The next card I get is the Ten of Swords, which is interesting, because that's a symbol of sadness. It's like really can be, I mean, they have a couple in the background making out, and she's crying, you know, and there's a sword there that could be a symbol of cutting away a relationship, and a spilt cup, which means the emotions are gone. So there may be a situation where we have some coupled Sagittarians here where their cup is empty. They're not feeling the love anymore. They're not getting a physical connection. So they're really feeling like they've had an ending to a relationship, but yet there is someone there. It's just that nobody's engaged and it's not going anywhere, and they're wishing. Really, the symbol in the background is just they're wishing that they had the passion and the drive that some of the couples, you know, it's really a symbol of what I want, but I can't have. Feel I can't have it for whatever reason. They feel distance. Like, no, I can't. I have someone here, but there's no love. There's no intimacy. There's no nothing. So it's almost like an empty relationship that is just not going anywhere. So it's sad because there's knowledge there. The Sagittarians are carrying the knowledge that they need to evolve a sexual, sensual relationship. They have all the knowledge. For some reason, they're not going forward with it. And they're definitely turning away from the partner. There's a rejection there. So they're turning away from the partner that they have, and they're looking towards the breakup. So it may be an evolution here where someone's feeling not appreciated on physical, mental, and emotional levels to the point where they're going to actually leave the relationship. So if that's what's happening, that's not a great thing. But to Sagittarian males, maybe that's the best point of reference here. If we have a bunch of unhappy people, they might as well be in another relationship and be happier. So that is really the scenario there for the love and romance. Sorry it wasn't better news, Sagittarians, but if you have an empty, loveless, I was going to say marriage, but union, then you got to either be a part of the solution or get rid of the problem. So, and you got to be an active part in that. And the fire sign here, I don't feel it strongly. We got a sword here, so there's a lack of communication about the issues. And there's also, like, you know, there's candy here, so it's almost like they're looking outwards at something else, you know, the possibilities of something else before they even deal. But yet there is an object there that's there physically, but may not be willing mentally or whatever. There's just a lack of touching, a lack of getting in contact. So keep that in mind. You know, take from the feminine side to open up, listen with your heart, and look at your foundation. What really is here? Is it worth what's going on here? You know, if it's time to go, then it's time to go, and if it's time to stay, then it's time to re-engage new energy and start looking at that. And if in neutral, you just discuss it and let the chips fall where they may and go from there. Very kind of a weird energy there. I've never come across, but it's nonetheless, summer is the time to get out and do things. So hopefully it's together, and if it's not, hopefully nobody's cheating on anybody, because there's an essence here of looking in other directions, and hopefully that's just for inspiration so that you can infuse it in your partnership, not in hopes of going. And if it is, you let your partner know. That's all. The morality of it just needs to sit nice with me. And then it's okay. Everything's fine. You're not hurting anybody. So it's all good. But anyway, so a little dicey on the love sector for the Sagittarians. So hopefully that helps someone out there. Sagittarians, fire energy for 2017 summer. Have fun, take care, and be kind.